This was a Black Poplar. Stem had torn out of it and had touched down on the opposite side of a large log store which belonged to the customer. And here I'm getting a high line in, my high anchor in one of the healthy stems, the sound stems, so that I can climb up. With a near vertical angle on the line, I can climb up the building without really putting any weight on it. And even once I get to the roof, I'm virtually floating, as you see there. So just climbing up, making my way into position. My plan changed somewhat during the job as we got a feel of it and figured out how to do it. Anyway, one thing was for certain: we would take as much weight off as we could that wasn't actually touched down on the ground and doing anything to support the branch. So that's what we're doing here, working along, delimbing it as much as possible, stripping it back to just there's a step cut there, break, throw, stripping it back to just the stem, which is touched down on the floor. Here now I'm establishing a different line, sending up my cambium saver to give me a better position. So that went up again into a healthy stem, one of the remaining healthy stems, stripping off remaining branches here. By this point, we'd decided that the plan was to use as a pivot point the tip which had touched down on the far side, as well as a sink cut which I would put here. So with the sink cut in right at the base of that stem, and a rigging line on the top at the apex, and then the tip having touched down on the other side. The idea was to do a controlled fell, effectively, making the tip pivot over, the apex pivot over the roof and touch down out in the open. The idea of the rope up the top there was to give it a bit of control so it wouldn't just be a chaotic drop, and if we could see something was going wrong, we could slow it down or bring it to a stop. So yeah, the idea was to bring it over the top like that, as I'm showing with my hand. And so here is the sink cut. I've made the sink cut already. There's my new anchor. And as you can see on the right there, we've got a second line. It's attached to a winch, a petrol winch. So control in both directions, and we were pulling to initiate the fell. And there it goes, nicely down.